Hey, this is Angela.
Hey, this is Richie, and we're here with your Week 10 weekday previews. And it's a long, large week with a bunch of weekday games. There's 2 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday, 3 on Thursday, 3 on Friday. So pretty much every day. Hell, if you include the NFL, there's games Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you're going to have football every single day of the week for a while, basically. Yeah. But this will be the Week 10 weekday previews, and we're going to start with the Tuesday night game. There's 2 of them. There's 2 of them. The first one is the Kent State Golden Flashes against Bowling Green Falcons. This one, neither team is, I think Kent State, they can't become bowl eligible anymore. Bowling Green, if I'm not mistaken, they have like 6 losses, so like they'd have to win out to get bowl eligibility. So they're not really playing for a whole lot in those terms. This one though, the main stat to me, Kent State though, that does have both have good quarterbacks. Kent State's got a good dual threat, he can run and pass decently. But Bowling Green, they have a guy, Jarrett Doege, who can pass it all over the place. Kent State's guy is Woody Barrett, he's a transfer from Auburn, but the edge to me goes to Bowling Green. They're actually like 30th in the nation in passing offense, and Kent State is 127th in passing defense, and I think that will be the difference in the game, and I think Bowling Green will win that one.
I'll go for Bowling Green.
The other Tuesday games, Miami of Ohio and Buffalo. Buffalo's started off great. They're 7-1. They're one of the top team. They're the top team in the MAC. They're off to their best start since 1959. Miami of Ohio has a pretty good quarterback in Gus Ragland. Buffalo has a good quarterback in Tyreek Jackson, and they have 2 good receivers. I was touting up Anthony Johnson earlier this year because of what he did last year, but he's been kind of hurt. And then KJ Osborne, if I'm not mistaken, he's the other receiver. He's taken off for him, so they have 2 good receivers. So in Buffalo, they're 42nd in scoring offense. I'm gonna go with Buffalo. I think they keep rolling.
I'll go for Buffalo.
And so the Wednesday game is Ball State in Toledo. Ball State, they're a top passing offense and defense in the country. They're top like 30-40 in both. Toledo, they've kind of been up and down this year. They came in as the favorite in the MAC. Last week they went in against Western Michigan, who was a favorite, and Toledo actually got a win on it. That was big for them. They're 36th nationally in rushing offense. Ball State, they're 112th in rushing defense. And I think Toledo's just a better overall team, so I'm going to go with Toledo to win that. I think Toledo kind of, like I said, they kind of struggled earlier this year. And with their win against Western Michigan, which is a really, really big win for them, I think they should even out and, finish off the season pretty well. So I'll go with Toledo.
I'll go for Ball State.
So, alright, going to the Thursday games. The first one, Northern Illinois and Akron. Northern Illinois is coming off of, they're 5-3. They're usually a decent team in the MAC. They just beat a BYU team 7-6. It was the final, but they got it done. Their defense played great. Akron, they're kind of been mediocre. I think they're 4-3, maybe 4, something like that now. They have a decent quarterback in Cato Nelson, but this could be kind of even. Basically, because Northern Illinois hasn't, even though they have a winning record, they sort of have been. They're both kind of about the same kind of team. They kind of just enough offense, decent defense. But I'm gonna give the edge to Northern Illinois. They're about even in all the categories, but I think Northern Illinois just has slightly better team overall. But that could be pretty interesting.
I'll go for Akron.
The other Thursday game, Ohio, Western Michigan. This is actually a really big game in the MAC. Both teams are really good. Ohio is basically top 30 in offensive categories. Western Michigan is also about top 30 in offense in most of the categories. Ohio's defense is higher, and to me the biggest difference and the edge to me is the quarterback for Western Michigan, John Wasink. he's actually out for the season with the injury, which is the same for him because the same thing happened last year. He got hurt halfway through and missed the rest of the season, and they barely got to bowl eligibility without him last year, and they were off to a really hot start, really good start this year. We'll see how they end up. Now their freshman quarterback against Toledo came in, Ellaby. He came in last week. He actually did really well. He was 23 to 28 passing, so that's really good. So they have potential, but I think with Wasink out, I think the edge will go to Ohio. So I think Ohio ends up winning that game.
I'll go for Ohio.
Then one of the games of the day. All right, Temple is taking on UCF. Temple, they start off the season rough, but they've won the last few games. They beat a really good Cincinnati team over a week ago. UCF, they're coming off a bye week. Milton, he had a slight tweak injury. I'm sure he'll be fine. Now, the offense, most people know UCF. They're one of the best offenses in the country, basically top 10 in every category. Temple has a decent defense, though. They're 34th in scoring defense, but UCF is 16th. Temple is actually 4th nationally in passing defense. They force a lot of turnovers. This will be UCF better be careful because this is a really this will be an interesting game. UCF, they're coming in with 20 straight wins. They're coming in with scoring 30 or more points in 20 straight games. I think one of those streaks will probably come to an end this week. And I think that's the scoring one. I think UCF will win. But I'm not sure if they get quite to 30. They could prove me wrong and blow Temple out because Temple's kind of... They started, like I said, off the season off kind of up and down, but lately they've been good. Their defense is good. Their offense, they have a good running back, Raquel Armstead. Their quarterback, Anthony Russo, is weird because he'll throw touchdowns and he'll throw a bunch of interceptions. Like the last game, he threw 3 of each. 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. If he throws some picks against UCF will make him pay. They will score. You know, that's what they do. And UCF is one of the top leaders in the nation in forcing turnovers. They're like tied for first or second, basically, in forcing turnovers. So, that being said, I think UCF should win. I think it will be close, even if they don't get to 30. I'm not saying... I mean, they could win 27-24, last second field goal, whatever. But I'm seeing more like a 27, 28 to 20, 28, 17 sort of. You know what I mean? I think it'll get close to 30, but I'm not sure they'll exactly reach it. So that's the streak I think might end this week for them, but I think they get their 21st straight win, which is all that really matters in the end.
I'm going to go for UCF, but they can't underestimate Temple.
No, and I don't think they will. They know Temple usually plays them tough no matter what. Even when UCF's good and Temple isn't, Temple always gives them a game. So that'll be interesting. It'll be at UCF. It'll be a Thursday night game.
At UCF?
Yeah, and it's the Thursday night. It's the Thursday night game. It's the primetime Thursday night game. So the world will be watching. So UCF, the bounce house will be bouncing. So I think UCF wins that. All right, we're going to Friday. All right, Pittsburgh taking on Virginia, and quietly, both Pittsburgh and Virginia are right there. And for the Coastal Division, the ACC, both are 3-1 in their conference play, which is kind of surprising. Pitt, they're 4-4 overall. Virginia wasn't expected to be here, really. They thought they might get a bowl game, but maybe not compete for the championship. But they're 6-2 overall. They could very well be 8-2 going into Virginia Tech in a few weeks. This will be an even game. This will be a good game. I'm going to give the edge to Virginia because their defense is better. They're 18th in scoring defense, 24th in total defense. They have a really good quarterback in Bryce Perkins. Pitt, they have decent running backs. Like, they've kind of been scoring however they can score, but somehow still putting up a whole bunch of points doing it. But I think Virginia ends up winning.
I'll go for Pittsburgh, the competition.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a coin flip. It could go. And it's at Pittsburgh, too. So, or no, it's at Virginia, my bad. Yeah, it's at Virginia, but it's kind of a coin flip. All right, Western Kentucky taking on Middle Tennessee State. I gotta give the Middle Tennessee State had, I think they're 5-3. They're about on verge of getting a bowl. They're a pretty good team. Brent Stockstill, senior quarterback. He's been there forever. They kind of a cool stat. In yesterday's game against Old Dominion, they had a 100-yard interception return for a touchdown, which technically ties the college football record for longest play. Because in college they don't. In the NFL, if you return it from inside the end zone, they will actually measure. They'll take a tape measure and actually go out there and measure like how many yards it was in the end zone. So you can technically have like 105-yard interception, return touchdown, etc. But in college, they don't do that. If you return it, if you get it in the end zone and you return it, it just counts as 100 yards. So technically, that's the longest play in college football history, or at least tied for. So it's a pretty cool feather in the cap of the guy who did that for Middle Tennessee. Western Kentucky, they're not very good this year at all. Like their offense, defense, their whole team is just kind of bad. So I'm gonna go Middle Tennessee State to win the game.
I'll go for Middle Tennessee State.
All right, Colorado and Arizona. So Colorado, they're coming in with the top 20 running back in McMillan. Their offense is decent. Steven Monta, the quarterback, is good. They're 34th and 30. They're basically the top 40 defense in the country. And it's a little like this one. They played Oregon State yesterday. They were up 24-3 at halftime. The first play of the third quarter, they get a 75-yard touchdown run to go up 31-3. Oregon State came all the way back and won in overtime, 41-34. She's always telling me you can't count them out when you're down by. They were up by 28 points. It's actually the biggest blown lead in Colorado history.
Wow.
It's their largest. They let up. They were up by 28. They gave up the lead. Honestly, Oregon State almost didn't want to win. Oregon State scored on they were down 34-28, scored on 4th and goal with like 12 seconds left in the game to tie it at 34, and they got the extra point blocked, which is how they went to overtime.
Oh gosh.
So, but then Oregon State won in overtime, so Colorado is coming off this monumental loss for themselves.
Is Oregon State ranked?
Oregon State was not ranked. They were 2-6, so they were not very good.
So it was an upset?
Or 1-6. Yeah, it was a pretty big upset, actually.
Oh, yes.
I mean, because Colorado wasn't ranked, but they were playing really well, and they were setting themselves up for a possible run to the Pac-12 championship.
They can always catch up.
Yep. And Arizona, they destroyed Oregon last night. They beat them, I think it's 44-15 or 44-21, something like that. Like, they killed them. Khalil Tate finally came back, the quarterback of Arizona. He had a good game. J.J. Taylor, the running back, who's in the top 10 nationally in rushing. He had well over 100 yards rushing. Arizona is fine, at least for one game against a good Oregon team. They look like the team that people thought they might be coming in. So this ends up being a really interesting matchup. I don't know who to go with this.
So is Colorado kind of like smarting from like?
Yeah, I think Colorado.
being beat.
I think Colorado was probably also maybe looking ahead to this game also.
So they were
were up by a lot. And they kind of
got cocky.
The players admitted that they kind of coasted.
See.
The coaches don't coast. The players sometimes do, and that cost them.
Can't do that.
So this game, I'm going to go with Colorado with this. I think Colorado's learned their lesson. I think overall they are a better team. Now Arizona, with Khalil Tate back, and he looked like, as good as he has all season. It'll be a good, it'll be a good game. But I think Colorado, like I said, they have a really good coach. I think he'll get them. I think the players are going to be irritated with themselves. as they should be.
They should be, yeah.
And I think they'll end up winning.
I'm going to go for Arizona, though.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of... It's at Arizona, too. It's kind of a coin flip. Especially with the way Arizona looked last night. I mean, who knows? But those are our weekday picks. A lot of football for you guys to watch.
Yep.
We'll be back later with our Saturday picks. Peace.